Returning to our breaking news story now, more than 50 rockets have been launched from southern Lebanon towards the Upper Galilee, that's in northern Israel, and the occupied Golan Heights. There have been explosions reported from these rockets being intercepted over some of the border towns. Well, Ali Hashim joins us now from Naqoura in southern Lebanon. What does the scene look like now, Hashim?
Well, just a few moments ago, Hezbollah issued a statement claiming responsibility for launching tens of rockets, according to the statement, towards military posts in the Golan Heights. According to the statement, this is in retaliation to Israel's attacks on southern Lebanese towns of Taibi, Al-Khiyam, and Aita. So this is Hezbollah's statement, but as it's clear, this is one of the maybe the biggest group of rockets being launched together, biggest barrage since the beginning of the war. There were before 40, 30 rockets, so it's a significant escalation.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll keep us posted of how that situation develops across the border there. Let's thank Ali Hashim there. And just to recap, so 50 rockets. Actually, Ali, since we've got you, just bring this into context. There were a lot of expectations that there might be an Iranian attack. Is this seen more so in the context, though, of what happened today with earlier strikes from Israel into Lebanon targeting Hezbollah rather than the concern about Iranian retaliation?
Well, Sami, I can say that since the assassination of the Iranian, or the killing of the Iranian general in Damascus last week, the situation on the border, on the Lebanese border, have been a bit concerning, a bit also unclear. There is no real escalation, just like before, but at the same time, the situation is very tense. And we've been seeing that in the way either Hezbollah or the Israelis are acting. Now, will this be part of the retaliation? I don't think, given the fact that the Hezbollah is saying that this is in retaliation to attacks on Lebanese towns. However, would this be an attempt to kind of distract the Iron Dome? This could be a way to distract the Iron Dome, just in case there is an attack from Iran. But till the moment, we don't have any indications that there is an attack from Iran or there are missiles launched from Iran. Therefore, for the moment, I think we should, at least for now, contain it within the Lebanese-Israeli context or the wider conflict that's raging since the 7th of October. Later on, maybe this could be an element, but we don't know.
And Ali, do we have any confirmation about how many of these rockets were intercepted? What kind of damage has been done? Is that picture becoming clearer at this point?
Well, for the moment, the pictures that we are seeing, and I've seen several pictures on Telegram channels from Israel, showing interceptions, many interceptions, but in general, and given the experience of past launches, there will be like 40, 50 rockets launched, and then there will be 2 or 3 precise rockets that are aimed at certain target. This happened in Safad weeks ago. This happened, and it's still happening, I mean, during the past weeks in Kiryat Shmona and in several other Israeli settlements and towns on the border. But of course, the choice of Golan Heights. This is something, as I've been saying in the past lives, this is something that indicates a kind of an extension or an attempt by Hezbollah to widen the front, but horizontally. Israel have been widening this front in depth, going deep into Lebanon vertically. Hezbollah is trying to expand it to include the Golan Heights. And as we know, since 1973, the Golan were calm. There's neither resistance there, there are neither attacks there, rockets there. So this time it seems that Golan is becoming part and parcel of this confrontation between Hezbollah and Israel.
Building on that, Ali, Are we seeing a pattern where Hezbollah wants to widen then the theater of operations, if we can call it that, now that we're seeing also the Golan Heights being involved, the occupied Golan Heights being involved?
Well, it's clear, Sami, that after 6 months, there's a need for Hezbollah for new, let me say, cards on the table. And attacking only the military positions on the border between Lebanon and Israel isn't really creating any real pressure more than the one, because at the end, when Israel is hitting deep into Lebanon, it's hitting Baalbek, it's hitting, we saw the assassination of Saleh al-Aruri in the southern suburb in Beirut, hitting also just beyond the Litani River. Now there's a different maybe rules of engagement, and these rules of engagement aren't contained into only geography. Maybe we have to look into the kind or the type of targets that Israel is choosing and Hezbollah is choosing. Now, there are some attacks that went without a claim of responsibility. The main one was the one I mentioned just a few seconds ago, the one in Safad. And that was a significant attack because, first of all, it was aimed at a major military position in northern Israel. Also the depth, it was like 14 to 15 kilometers inside North Israel. And also it ended with casualties. This was one of the main attacks, and it showed a different pattern, but it went without a claim of responsibility, and that raised a lot of question marks. There's another attack also that at the beginning was significant, but later on became usual, which is the attack on the Mirun military base, and it's an aerial base that covers the area from Lebanon to Cyprus to Turkey. It's one of the main Israeli aerial bases in the area there. So Hezbollah attacked this base at the beginning, just like a few months ago, after the killing of one of its main military leaders, Wissam al-Tawil. Later on, it attacked this base, and it continues to do that, but of course not day after day. There's also another choice that Hezbollah has been taking over the past few months. I mean, it's been 6 months now. We've been seeing Hezbollah attacking mainly Israeli military bases on the border. And at the same time, Israel mainly attacking Hezbollah targets inside Lebanon. So it's clear that both sides were keen at containing this confrontation within the military targets. Now, sometimes there are civilians, and over the past months, there have been around 60 Lebanese civilians, including journalists, who were killed on the Lebanese side. And on the Israeli side, according to the numbers that are issued by the Israelis, there were around 5 or 6 Israeli civilians killed. So both sides have been trying to contain this confrontation within the military targets. And this is aimed mainly at trying as much as possible not to get into a wider confrontation, because a wider confrontation would mean a real destruction on both sides. For now, we are here in Naqoura, which is just on the border, directly on the border. This town is empty. And yesterday we sent a report from Ait al-Shab. This is kind of described of the ground zero of South Lebanon, completely destroyed. Also other towns like Mais el-Jabal, like Markaba, Marwahin. These are all towns in South Lebanon that are now deserted. On the other side, of course, from Lebanon, there are around 100,000 people now who are internally displaced. On the Israeli side, there are also towns that are now completely, or the majority of the residents have left, like Kiryat Shmona, like Shlomi. These are big cities or towns on the other side that are now empty. And also there are towns such as Al-Manara, Al-Mutalla, with many and tens of houses that have been destroyed. So both sides know very well that such confrontation is going to be destructive. Now, of course, Israel has the power of air with a very strong air force, but Hezbollah also has a very big amount of rockets. And, over the past years, they've been saying like 100,000, 200,000 rockets. But this is an old number, maybe from 2006. And no one was able to update it, given the fact that Hezbollah has been stockpiling weapons over the past 18 years.
All right, thanks so much, Ali Hashim there reporting.